Hey folks, welcome back to TIMBERBORN. We have the game paused at the moment because there were quite a lot of comments on the last video. Well, a few that I want to actually have a little chat about. So we'll do that first. I really liked the suggestion that once we've got the cave colony done, we could maybe look at building a sky colony. I thought that was kind of funky, so we'll have a look at that at some point. Also the suggestion that rather than worry about irrigating this area, we could just level it with some dynamite. And we'll do that possibly once we have used up the water that's in these water tanks. This was very much a temporary, along with some of this, particularly this pump that we built, very much a temporary, we need more water storage. How can we quickly build water storage that's in a somewhat sensible area? So I liked that idea. We could even go so far as to maybe look at doing more of that. So making this a bigger farming area. Possibly. That links into what I want to talk about with what I want to do with the cave area. So that's that done. We'll come back to the cave area in a bit. I need to check how I've got the water dump set up. Because there was the suggestion that if I have it too shallow, it will evaporate quicker, but I think we're okay with that kind of depth. And also, it was pointed out to me that we could use the first person, I think it's FPP mod, to wander around inside the cavern. I'm going to save that once we've got a bit more built. I'm trying to minimize the number of mods that I have installed just because I'm having performance issues with this save. So, yep. And then the other idea that I liked, because we're talking about getting bots going over here, was weather. And I think it will work actually, because, yeah, we could get bad water from here into this as well. Now, the problem is that we've also got good water here. So this is mixed. This is brackish. The term for you, good term, brackish water, but it's not really providing us any benefit because we're bringing the clean water in here. So mayhaps we could, and I think it's intended because this is all a blockage. We could break, and we've got a drought coming. We could break this blockage down and bring it down here and supercharge our water wheels. That seems like a sensible idea to me. It really does. The easiest way to do that? Probably to hop across here and get up here and hop. So that was that one, which I really liked. So, and then if we come in here, we've got this to dynamite. Let's blow that up, shall we? Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering. No, but flatter area is good. So we'll demolish that and we'll get these trees cut down. We'll also get that put in there. And we'll maybe demolish that because I don't really see the point of that. But we'll come in here. There were a couple of really useful suggestions, I thought. So the first easy one was around storage. And I think we'll just throw in we're probably not going to keep those there. But we've got planks, logs. I think there's probably some metal as well. So let's have a logs, at least a couple of planks and a metal. And that'll get this somewhat tidied up. But more importantly, it'll get us some resources for building some stuff in here. So I'm going to prioritize building those. The other really important point that a couple of you made was that I can't just move this loose up to here. I need to have 2. I need to have 1 for controlling the depth here, and then 1 for controlling the contamination. But I've then thought, this is a 2-stage thought. Actually, there was the other really good point that rather than us cutting this out, what we could have done is just put an earth block here and then built off of the earth block. Hindsight and all that, we're all learning. What I actually think I want to do is, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet, but we've got quite a lot of empty space in here. And this is a future project because I want to get this actually up and running first. But I want to make this like I don't know if we probably have these in other countries as well. In the UK, it's quite common to have like a pond water feature where you have endlessly flowing water because you have a little water pump. So what I want to do is we're going to build another internal reservoir in here. So we're going to tunnel our quarry out a bit in here. We're going to have a link in here to it, and then a deep mechanical pump to lift water back up, because I want this to be an eternally flowing waterfall, if we can, or mostly eternally flowing waterfall. Because I want this to have decided, rather than them having farming in here, this is going to essentially be a... I think I'm going to lengthen this so that this runs the length of the back wall. Then we can put in like swimming pools in here. I want this to be a colony for fancy beavers, essentially. So they're not going to work. They're just going to chill. I don't know how many beavers we're going to have in here for our fancy beavers, but yeah. That's what it's going to be. So we're going to have a bunch of monuments in here. We're going to have well-being stuff, and that's going to be it, pretty much. And housing. So, yeah. Rather than it being a self-sustaining colony, it's going to be a bit of a folly again, I guess. I know it's kind of dumb, maybe, but hey, why not? Why not? This game is about having fun, and you know, I don't do things to be super optimal all of the time. I know that frustrates a bunch of you, but hey, it's about enjoying ourselves playing the game, so that's what we're going to do. So to that end, I've put these here, and they're really not in the optimal place, because what we want is to come in and see grand spectacle, I think. So we want to come in here. This is where kind of the first person view mod would have been kind of useful, and see probably some monuments and stuffs. So I'm kind of rabbiting because I'm not entirely sure how I want to lay it out yet. But obviously we're going to need some sort of district crossing, but I think maybe we do that outside. And I might actually wait until we've got the bots up and running, because we could have the bots do the hauling and have the district crossing outside, and the bots just bring stuff in to the posh beavers. So to that end, maybe we start with the building of the stuffs. So I think we need to move 32-day drought. That's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. I think we move this path in 1. I think probably the first thing we want to try and tackle, actually, before I forget, is this jobby. You're probably going to get a bit of flooding. You can resolve that by just doing a bit of that. So what we need to do is enable access to this. And I'm not worried about it being super efficient because we're going to demolish it once we're in and done. So we're going to get to there. It looks like we leave some. Are they ladders? Old yeah, they are. Awesome stuff. Right. But yeah, I mean, what we really want to do, I think, is, because there's the water source, I think really we want to be putting the sluice. We delete that path. We put our first sluice right there and have that one be the contamination sluice. I mean, that's how we want it to be, I think. I'm not really super sure with it being this confined to space. We'll see. We'll see. But that's kind of my thought. It's kind of my thought. So if they get that built, that'll be good. While they're doing that, we're going to come all the way over here and get our beavers beavering. Not too long. Yep. The beavers are beavering. And we want to start working on getting over to this. And we're basically gonna delete this blockage, and I might put floodgates back in just in case things don't work out as planned, you know? Unintended consequences and all that stuff. And then my other thought is maybe we put the bot production right on top of here. So let's demolish that as well. Or we could level this out and put it this side. I'm not averse to that, actually. That might be better. So, science. Yeah, so if we made this one wider, like that, we would want to bring power across. So we would want to do that. Right, so next I think would be I'm going to get them to come down here. Means we want to delete that tree. Let's just head back under here. Right, that's in. Cool. Nice if they would pick those. I'm just going to leave that. We've got 29 days. We'll see if they'll pick those up before we need to worry about getting rid of some of that stuff. And we could just build a ton of plank storage to get it cleared up. I don't feel like doing that at the moment. Right, so then what we're going to do is connect that. And we're going to come in here and we're going to delete all of those first. and see how we look then. I think we might want to delete that one. Don't think we're going to be able to. No. So we need a little step ladder. So we'll get that going on. That's been done. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to replace that and put the path there. And while they're building that, we'll just put a little path around it. We will just then come under here, and then we might as well do that. Yeah. And just for neatness, I'll put that on top of there. You are solid stuff. So if we put that, actually, if I build that there, oh, they've almost built that now. Anyway, so let's let them build that as well. Yeah. Really didn't need to stand on there to build that, but anywho. Right, let's delete that. We're then going to need another one to get up on there. Or a bit of a maze, but you know. We'll get her done. We'll get her done. We'll get it opened up and then we'll see how we reclose it just to be kind of safe. These guys are done. So we are now out of scrap metal, but we've got 500 metal, so I'm not too worried there. Right, all of that is cleared out, so let's get rid of this unnecessarily long path. There's the entrance to that. Actually, that's empty, isn't it? So let's delete that. We'll get those logs picked up, and then we can get rid of some more of that path. Right. Let's see what we can get rid of in there. Get that opened up. Be able to get all of those eventually. Yep. Get that one. Should be able to get that one just fine, I believe. Yep. Awesome. Right, that's done. So then we need you, and then we should be able to get rid of those. Just for kind of completeness. Right, those are done, so we can now get rid of the weird bit there, and we can start building. We probably want... We got log storage over here. We probably want a bigger log store. So... Pop that for that. Make that be logs. Science. Bot part factory. What? One. Did that pick up power? I'm not convinced it did. I'm going to bring that into the middle just in case. As I've said a few times, I'm never completely convinced where it takes power from underneath. And then what we're going to do is just demolish those. We're going to demolish that. We're going to come in here. We're going to fill those in. We probably need some path. Excellent. All right, you can go now. Going to put dirt in there. And I'm going to remove all of that as well. Not really thought any of this through because I very rarely pre-plan, but you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then science, bot part factory, 1, 2, 3, and then I thought it might be useful to I delete that. It's gonna actually doesn't matter if we kill that connection for a bit because we don't have any scrap. So let's get rid of those. Oh, they're connected anyway, aren't they? Yeah, two, and then 1. Yeah. Be okay. Be okay. Let me do that. Go. Limbs. Chassis. Heads. Gonna need to build a bunch of storage in a bit. You go there. And then what I'm going to do is, just so we have control, that. I've got one there as well once they've been built. So you want to be and obtain now because we want to keep metal there. We want storage for that's those, and we can put bigger storages here. That makes sense to me, I think. Supply and demand is sort of okay at the moment, but we're not making metal at the moment, so, you know, not perfect, but okay. Right, yeah, then if we delete that, go plank storage, gear storage, is awesome. Then we want to build assemblers. I'll put those on the top because that's what you do. Them's the rules, folks. Bosh, and we need some bot charging. And what we can do there is Bosh, Bosh, Bosh. Charging sponsored by, you guessed it, Bosch. Actually, what I think we could do, because it should transfer power up, is that. And that should give us quite a nice little setup, I think. that's looking pretty good. So what we can do now is delete that. Put in the last floodgate. And what we're going to do is, actually for now, because we don't know how this is going to behave when the drought ends, I'm going to have those be open and these be closed, and we will see what happens. We'll see what happens, folks. But seeing as we are over here, that will allow us to blast out that and put in an extra power wheel, because we do need a bit more power. And then once we've got bots, we can initially concentrate our bot usage in this area, because that kind of makes sense. So, large power wheel there. Might be better if we... No, because that's going to collide with that. Let's just do that for now. And even, you know, if we stuff more water through it, that's going to help. We could kind of balance the flow in case we have issues with how we manage these. And we could get a thingy over that, a discharge. Permanently boost it. And the good thing is these are going to recharge overnight until we get bots working in here, so we can cope with the fact that the input is a little bit lower than is required. And we are about to get our first 2 bots, which is great. And because we're doing good with science, they're going to go in there. Yeah, that's all done. So I think we will delete all of this. Get them to pick all of that up. Come over here. Have a little look, see in here. Awesome. They've tidied that up. So we're going to delete some pathage just to save on path. I know, deleting pathage saves on path. You'd have never have guessed that, would you? Kind of long term, we'll work on the endless flowing water thing. Well-being, swimming pools. A bunch of swimming pools. I'm here. Is this one connected into the grid? It is, and that's helped with the slight shortfall. Do we put a control tower in? Probably not an awful idea. And if we throw it there, right? Yeah, right there. I can't get it to cover that and the mine. That'll cover this little industrial complex quite nicely. There is certainly opportunity to improve the flow of this quite significantly. I mean, I could look to straighten it out. Do that. Get to some of that alignment. Let's just go with where we are for now. So we'll throw those in there. That should help with that. We've got a nice bit of bot charging going there. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's delete you. We'll keep retreating that. And I think now is time to maybe focus on making this wonderful. So let's get rid of these. Because now we have bots, we can think about getting that going in there. We're going to need some power. Now, again, I wonder if we bring power in from outside. Because if we think about well-being, you know, the motivatorium needs power, the wind tunnel needs power, mud bath needs power. So we could get the correct level. I think we should. Tunnel in a power shaft. That has that would work. That would work. So if I go too far, we have the potential of water coming in, but that works. Let's get rid of you. Yep. We can bring power in there. That's cool. Just thinking if we come in here, and we're looking monument-wise, do we want to have in the middle a big tribute to ingenuity? I think we do. Can we go down 2 levels? Can. What I want to do is sink the power under the floor. So if I'm going to put a monument, tribute to ingenuity, say there, I want to bring a power point up there, but I want to do it so that we can't see it. So I want to put a double dynamite there. And then let's, yeah, start to think about that like that. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to do that. And then we're going to double dynamite there. Yeah, so we're going to do that. That's my first thought. Run that out to there. Awesome stuff. Cool. We've got some spare bots, so let's keep getting those guys set up. Yes. Yeah. Yes. What I want to do is bottomate the complex over here, essentially. And that's the plan. How's the power grid looking? It's doing okay. It's doing okay. It'll struggle more as we bottomate it because they won't get the night to charge. So we will possibly have to increase the power production, but we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. And 86, 86, 86, that's okay. We are working our way through our metal supply, but we'll resolve that momentarily. Water is holding up okay, and in a little while we'll want to unpause these. Back in here. So we do, of course, need some power generation out here, because I don't think this generates enough. Oh, we didn't hook this guy up, did we? I'll have to do that a bit at a time. But I think this generates enough of an excess. We could, if we didn't have the tubeway flowing through the river, we could have some wheels here and have the power connected. So we could move the tubeway out of the bad water stream, and then we could pipe power so to do that, I often say with this game, nothing is permanent. So let's do that, and then let's do that. Because the nice thing now is in this game that it doesn't affect the flow when you put water wheels in, so we can do that. And then we'll need to bring the power we generate to here, but that's fine. So we need to be careful because we've got beavers running around here, but that's okay. So we've got 3 more spare bots. Let's get them in there, and then they'll be okay. I think the next spare bots we get, we will, in fact, we'll do it now. Do it. And then as we get them, we'll start generating scrap. And then we need to put them in here, and then we'll be good. Because we do need metal, because we're building, well, we've built a new path tubeway connection. So that's that done. So if we delete this slowly, they'll be able to pick, oh, it's planks, okay. You know what? Let's just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it right. Okay, so then we want power, large wheel, and we want to think about how we want to do this. Yeah. That should be okay. Would be okay. And if we swap that for a ladder, that should be able to do that and constrict that down to be 2 wide. rather than being too wide. Currently it is too wide. And that will improve the power generation. Right, quick drink break, and we still seem to be going okay. There is obviously the concern that when we are full flood, this might cause issues, but we do have stuff over here to help mitigate it. So, and if we actually come in here and constrict this to be 2 as well, then should be okay. We probably do well to actually try and make this all uniformly too wide, but you know, we do have some overflow management that will help deal with things. So yeah, we should be okay, he says. Famous last words and all that. Right, we need to build some power wheels, or large water wheels. 1, 2, 3. So that should do the jobby. Bosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. That there. That last one was a complete guess. Did not nail it. In fact, he completely failed. And it doesn't look like we're going to fit another one because it needs that piece taken out. Which we can achieve with a little bit of manipulation of things by doing that. Do that. I'm hoping that 3 will generate all the power we need. Might not, but it'll get us some of the way there. We've now got 6 spare bots. So, bosh, 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 bosh. Now that was paused. That needs to be unpaused. And we should be in a much better position now for getting this going, which is great. I might up it a bit because we have 0 at the moment. Oh, blow that up. Put that there, and then I think if we put this right at the end, is that far enough? It is. Awesome stuff. We might want to blast some of this out and fill some of this in to optimize things, but for now, this is going to give us some power. Thinking if we're actually going to build the rest of this, we probably need a way to get out to build it. Something like that. Where the frick did it come out of the... When did that happen? There's my power pipe. All right. Power is... there. There. That's the connections that we need to build. Building connections is important. There. We're going to need to rip some trees out. Delete. Let's just come in here. Delete those. Delete you. Become a one of them. One of them. One. I don't know where that came from, but oh, it's hot. It's hot. And I can't have the aircon running while I'm talking to you lot. So, yeah, you get slightly pickled brain me. You'll just have to deal with it, I'm afraid, folks. Right, that's built. Build that. And then the rest we can do from inside. That's giving us 700 HP. So, not too shabby. And what we can do is Bosch, because we can build those from in the tunnels. Me Lakey. Actually do it there as well once I delete the tubeway station. You need them to come build that piece. Awesome. Right. So that should be able to go. Now what we can do then is power. You can go there. And yes, I know if I did the tunnel wider, I could do these many at a time. I haven't done the tunnel wider. So guess what? We can't. We do have some spare bots now, which we will need to do the job of hauling for their beaver overlords. But we can also now start to clear this stuff up, which is cracking. No space for planks, no great surprise. There is going to come a point where I'm short of planks and I'm going to be disappointed that I'm deleting planks, but you know, la vie. Actually, no, I'm going to struggle to connect that like that unless I put, if we put that back and we do that and that, and then we can put one of those in and it should connect. No, we don't need to delete that. We could, but do we really need the planks? No. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it. They are slowly picking all of those up, but very slowly. So, you know, and we can probably now just delete all of that out to there. Yep, we have bots, which is cool. We've actually got a reasonable amount of bots already. So we're going to want, I'm going to do 10 inside doing the hauling. Or, yeah, which is probably excessive. Well, we need district crossing plus hauling probably. And this really is a complete folly, you know. But why not? Why not? It's a game. We can do it now, so we should. It's fun. Why? Oh, I say, why isn't that turning? It's because I disconnected it at source. So, and I've gone really deep so that we can put dirt back over the top of this. Yeah, and then we do that, and then we do power, like that, and that connects between the two of them. And then we've got a good 45,000 battery, and because they're just using them for leisure, that should be fine. Yeah, and then we can go our now what's cheaper? So that's 1 log plus 6 planks. Two plus 2 plus a gear, so that's essentially 5 with processing. Actually, those are cheaper, assuming we've got all the components. We've got lots of, we've got so many planks. I think we do it this way, and we just use up some of our excess of planks. And then that lets us put dirt back on top. And then over here, we do that. We do it. Sorry, too much Grok TV recently. And I'm just going to do, for now, that. That lets me build that. Did I unlock that? No. That not fit. Is it too big? We need to sink it one. That's it. And if it's too tall, fit in there. Could recess it one. I don't have a problem with that. More pathage. They can't. Yeah, they can reach that. They can now because I built pathage. Monument. Yes. Yeah. Awesome beans. We like that a lot. We could do with more scrap metal going on probably at the moment. We could do with more power generation. And how much work is it to get one more wheel in here? Kind of a pain to see what we need to detonate. So you need to go. You need to go, and you need to go. Oh, you need a more than that. You need to be a triple thing. I'll let them build it, and they reach those So let's prioritize those. Are these running okay? 80%, 84. You're running quite low efficiency for some reason. You're running, I guess because we've got, yeah, so let's do that. Let's do that. You're already set. We don't have any storage yet for bot parts, do we? So what we could do is just that and limbs, heads, chassis, and then I'm just going to do one more for limbs. And I guess some of the inefficiency, it's not because of the lack of power. Okay. Bosh, bosh, bosh. And our, because we need it to be raise me up. Sorry, I shouldn't sing. I want to get a copyright strike for my singing, do I? That'll work. That'll work. And in theory, I probably want to block that as well. Theory, we should come in here and get rid of all of those. A lot of theory there. 3 days to go, 16,000 water. And I forgot, I know, but bosh, bosh, bosh. We do still have a reasonable amount of water there that we can pump. And our water supply is actually holding up really well. Where was I? That's getting built. I forgot that needs a lot of resources, but that's okay. So these are in now. These are generating and storing a nice amount of power. I think what I'll do is I'll run to the end of the drought so that we can just see what's happening with things. Clearly we are not picking these up anytime soon, so I'm going to get rid of this bit of unneeded path. There we go, getting that built. Power. Lovely job. And then we can just hook that into there. Give that a nice high priority. And that's going to add another 400 to the network, which should deal with our deficit. Not quite. Not quite. But it has helped. So, I mean, I think, yeah, it's not ideal having that kind of staggered flow that we've got going on, but is better. Is better. You know, there's a bit of charging happening. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. We probably don't normally need to have 4 smelters running, for example. So, yep. What we probably need to think about as well is bot charging. This is running. Awesome. I haven't closed this up yet because I want to think about where else we need to run power to. But yeah, we need to think about bot charging, because we could make use of the bots elsewhere in the colony. We need to also keep trying to connect this up, don't we? Let's focus on getting that done as we come to the end of the video. Probably make a bit of sense, wouldn't it? We do have a bit of an excess sometimes, so get it stored up. We've actually got some spare beefs. Actually, someone else pointed out that we could do with some... How are we doing for it? Someone suggested we needed more medical beds. So, well-being. Got 9 medical beds. I think we're okay, actually. They're not all fully occupied, so... I think we are okay for medical beds at the moment. But what we could do now, with a bit of cheeky work, is if we wanted to, actually I'm wondering if we go check over here. Yeah, I can suspend it if we don't have enough power. I'm going to swap this one. Build straight now. Actually, yeah, we can do it that way. What I'm going to do is that. Then, because this will give us a big old well-being spike and cover a heck of a lot of the community. And we'll take power out of the housing. Build another one. Seeing as we've unlocked it, I think we might as well. I'm pondering. There's our drought unlock. Let's rush over here. And we'll have a look at this. See how this all works out. I mean, the other cool thing is this, we're going to change all of this dynamic as well, isn't it? I say cool thing. Might not be so cool, but you know. So if we close these, raise this one. These are at 0.65. we'll just see what happens here. See what we see. Let's just slow it down a bit. We put all of that flow, which is probably quite a lot, into here. Not flooding. Backing this up. So ends up rejoining down here anyway. And we're now generating 27,000. So that 28,000. Okay, so yep, that was a pretty solid idea. Bit of flooding back here, but I don't think that's a problem. We'll just need to keep an eye on it. But pretty solid power generation over here. Okay. Yep. We could always put in a... Okay, we are flooding a bit over here. But that's not really a big problem for us at the moment. I think we could deal with that. I think that's okay. Don't think that's going to cause us any problems at the moment, so we'll live with that. Yeah. Because much power, and we've got lots of spare bots, so I think 9 flooded buildings. Who didn't set the stream gauge? Yes, yes. Yes, that would be me, wouldn't it? Oh well. Why aren't you closed now? Why are you still flowing when you say closed? Thank you. Ah, well, we've got a little bit of a problem. Opportunity. Let's call it an opportunity, shall we? So this is now overflowing a little bit where we've changed the dynamic again, but equally we're generating a whack ton of power. This is getting built, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased, I think. So yeah, we're refilling the water supply, which really didn't empty that much. I think we can call today an success. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, folks. If you did, click the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you all next time.